I talk about how this is not, when I'm trying to explain this to people, I'm like, it's not a musical where it's like, here's a problem, now we're going to sing about it. Now here's the scene. It's all about the emotion of it. That's
Mhm.
how we get the singing. So yeah.
Well, I just would say that I love Todd's music so much, and it was a really seamless process. A lot of musicals I've worked on more lately, the development process is sort of arduous, and there's a lot of moving parts, and you get a lot of feedback. And this was just effortless. Like Todd would come over, he'd sit in my living room, we kind of stare at each other, he'd go off and write. Like it felt very, um, there was a kind of lift off and a sense of play and a sense of lifting up or lofting up into the air what was already written and making that song. And I think Todd is an incredibly unique composer, being able to do that. It's almost in a way more like an opera
Mhm.
than a musical. And I realize that now, having worked on more opera, it's sung through. Um, it's not stop and start, but it doesn't have the epic scale of an opera. It's gentle, it's quiet, it's intimate. And I think we were partly able to achieve that because I wrote it for a company I was part of called 13P. And it was a kind of rogue company where their artistic director was the playwright and it rotated. So there are 13 playwrights and you got to be in charge of your process. I thought, why don't I do this for my for my slot, which was very ambitious because we didn't have that much money, and usually musical development is like a whole big thing. But for this, it wasn't a whole big thing. It was just very simple and artist driven.